All right, I wanted to hop on here. Just had some things come to my mind. I wanted to talk about just some different experiences and experiences, some things that came to mind. Again, this is just my perspective. You can take it or leave it. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong. It may be, it may not be. If it is, then what? This ain't here to convince nobody. Just a different perspective. Well, I just saw this. Just going through the Twitter feed and saw this, and it's just it just goes to like you get people like this, man. This Elon Musk guy. These guys are sick. What they do is like the Oppenheimer. You get these people, man. They're just real sick. The thing is, they'll come up with stuff like social media, porn, stuff like that. This stuff that they know is bad for people. They'll still put it in the atmosphere, knowing it'll mess up society. But that's what they do because that's what they are, f ups. At the end of the day, they can be rich, they can be smart. At the end of the day, they foolish f ups. That the thing is, talk about birth rates. It's the reason the birth rates are low. Natural selection, the things that they see, the things they even say become um, like self fulfilling prophecies, right? But see, the thing is, black people or anybody other group don't need to do anything because nature is going to step in eventually, which is what happened. And it's really from their own actions. You never, if you're recessive, you never mix with other. You don't really want to make a habit of going to other places and mixing, but it's like it been a parasitic relationship with the rest of society due to emotions. It seems emotions of jealousy and insecurity and hate. And if you somebody that's lying to yourself, they do a lot of deception. So if you're lying to yourself, you're not really getting to the root of the problem. You're not really solving the problem. The solution is always something that's a lie, and so the problem, the truth, is always there. Let's see what this guy got to say. 8 minutes. I'm not watching the whole thing.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the NATO conference. I'm Kevin Dolan. We're here to solve a problem that will define the next century. In our lifetime, in our children's lifetime, every government,
And this is birth rates. Whose birth rates?
every culture, every
Be
belief
specific.
system, and every family on earth will pass through a bottleneck tighter than the Black Death, predicated on one question: will your children have children of their own? It doesn't matter if you already have kids, if you don't have kids, if you hate kids, if you have a 401k or a mortgage or a social
So
security
you get
card or
people like this that want to complain, but they set up the situation to where it is. They set up the sick society. But see, the thing is about sick people, the thing that makes them sick is they know it's wrong. They will publicly say it's wrong, but then in the dark, they'll do self-destructive stuff, and they can't stop it. They can't even help it, and that's what makes them sick. I got a lot of windows open. I think that's making the internet run slow.
and it turns out parenting just isn't a desirable choice.
These people that made feminism, breaking up the families, family courts, and they talk about they want because the whole thing is if you don't have nuclear families and you have a nuclear family that's actually um, non toxic and not filled with trauma, then you can have a better society. The thing is they condition people to be in toxic conditions. I mean, it's just and really what it is, what they are weak minded people. They don't want to take responsibility for their actions because they are mentally ill in many cases. I mean, it just is what it is. Maybe not in all cases, but in some cases, too many cases, they can do right, but their
Supposed to
emotions
see
won't
yourself
let
as a
them.
little child through your father's eyes, your mother's eyes,
They
maybe through
like
God's.
on the Will Be Blood. They just have a people. They don't like to see people do good. It's not all people like that, but too many. So they don't like to see people do good. Even while they doing good, they destroying stuff. And then eventually, through time, you just get the perfect storm. Yeah, they push homosexuality. They push um, the men being women, the women being men, not having, so they push abortion, and then they complain. Well, you the problem. Let me see if there's anything else on here that's kind of. He say, no, you are raising black children in a system of global white supremacy. And just because you have the luxury of ignoring the existence of the system of anti-blackness, those children do not. And as a parent, those children need to be taught the truth for their own safety. So this from the Art of Dialogue. I'm not raising black children, I'm raising children. UFC fighter Michael Chandler speaks about his approach to parenting his two black adopted sons and admits there have been tough questions about skin color. Well, I mean, I guess the question about skin color is, why are we different skin colors? What are the reasons? Is there more than one answer? How do we know? Well, isn't it true that the reason we are different skin colors is because genetics, and because some of us actually make a large amount of melanin where our skin is a brown complexion, and then those that don't or can't make that much melanin look another way? Isn't that true? It is true. Let's see what he got to say.
I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless.
And the whole thing is what if you're wrong? Where's that question at? And then when you do like the Ben Franklin method, put the pros on one side and the cons on that side and on another side. And if it's cons, will you still do it? Because it don't seem like that would be the best choice. So we got a bunch of cons when we talk about this guy raising black kids. He can't even relate to them.
And sticking up for those who need it and being a good man of reputation. None of that has to do with skin color. Everything has to do with
This is the other thing. They keep, you get people like this to say that, but people that look like him created a system that they call themselves racism, white supremacy, where they want to be looked at as being superior and want special privileges over other people and feel like that they can mistreat people with impunity and have the right to hurt people and make people feel bad. So this is somebody that's weak-minded. He's simple-minded. He can't take the truth. That line in A Few Good Men was true. You can't handle the truth. He'll do anything to deny it. Because the only thing you really need to ask him, instead of arguing with these people, only thing you need to do is ask him a question. Well, what if it is racism? And what if it is different for them than it is for you? Then what? And then see what he say. And if a person can't answer the right question, they're trying to be deceptive.
character of the man. And like I said, it's probably probably not an answer that's.
We've been talking about character, but we can't go off character when the racists don't have character. I'm gonna tweet that. We can't go off a character or expect somebody without character to judge us by our character when they don't even have good character or good judgment. To be racist means you don't have good character or judgment. So we're dealing with a crazy sick person.
Some people would say is important, but that's where the world has gone, where we think
in a person, you got to be low self-esteem, ignorant to even want to be around a hateful person. Not like this. I don't know if this guy's hateful, but I suspect he got some underlying issues that he need to work out to be adopting 2 kids that don't look like him in this day and age when you just get Elon Musk talking about low birth rates. And then a lot of times these black kids, when they're adopted by these people, turn out homosexual.
I think that the most important thing about,
well, I won't say a lot of times, but sometimes. And that might be, hey, maybe they just turned out that way, or maybe they doing something mentally, because they can never relate. I can never relate to what it is to be a white man. I can relate as a man, but not as a white man. The same way he can't relate to me as being a black man.
us is our skin color or our gender or our sex or our political affiliation or all these different identity politics or the identities that we put on each other, when really we're just human beings.
Well, we're not just human beings. We have a different relationship. Some of us have a different relationship with this planet, with this land, with the sun. We are different. We're similar, but we are different.
On this earth, and there are certain,
and that's a lie. It's a simple-minded, weak-minded lie that keeps getting told. Not saying that one is better than the other, because each group has wins if you want to keep score and separate yourself in a group. So just do what you need to do to contribute in a positive way. But you get these people, man, they can't help but lie. That's what make them sick.
There are certain,
because the whole thing is he's not going to do nothing about racism. Not that he needs to be a hero, but him adopting black kids ain't doing nothing to solve racism or help race relations.
things.
If a person in 2024 still want to be racist when there's so much information out here, then there's no. I mean, it's not about education. It's about choice and mindset and emotions. And people wanting to hang on to different stuff. It's people out here that will never, the haters, the jealous people, they will never like to see other people do good. So you can justify it or give it any kind of excuse you want. Which is what they do. A lot of times they make excuses for racist.
About being a good person that transcend skin color and age and sex and religion and all of those different things. I love.
Only thing that changed, that transcend race and stuff like that is a common goal. Like if y'all on a team, like a sports team, and common goal. We don't have the same common goal. Some people, some white people, not all, too many, want to have an unfair advantage and mistreat people. If you want to have an advantage, hey, but mistreating people and then at the expense of the country, yourself, and it's pathetic, really.
Love that answer.
Yeah, it's hard. It's what I feel too. You know, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's me. It's uniquely, that's how I feel.
And then I get tired of black people. You get these ignorant, low self-esteem black people. Talk about see me as a person. First of all, who came first? The melanated person was the first person, as far as we know. So to try to get humanity from people that are incapable of showing you humanity is a fool's errand. It's not all white people. The white people that think like these hateful, jealous white people. That's what I'm talking about. And it's just sad when you keep hearing these people see me as a human being. I'm a human being. Well, even if they don't see you as a human being, who cares? Why? How many times? Why do you want to be next to evil? I have to say that these people are evil themselves.
Feel about it. So
to be an elitist, it's not a color. Anybody can be an elitist, and we got elitists in black society also. People that want to feel like they're better than other people for whatever reason. Insecurities.
Have you had any tough questions as of yet from your 7-year-old?
Yeah, I mean, there's questions about skin color, obviously, I mean, because it makes a lot of sense, right? It's like whether and just a call to action for men, right? We grew up on cowboys and Indians and GI Joes and superheroes and stuff, and we all want to feel like a superhero, right? As the male gene, we want to feel like a superhero, and we are a superhero to our children, right? We are a superhero to our children. We are a godlike figure to our children, and
Listen to that.
we get that opportunity with
So this is a white man adopting black kids.
superhero to our children. We are a godlike figure to our children, and we are a superhero to our children, right? We are a superhero to our children. We are a godlike figure to our children, and we get that opportunity with each and every one of our children that we have. And it doesn't matter if you're,
What is he telling these kids? He's setting these kids up for failure. To if he's saying that, hey, the race don't matter. Yes, it does, because the people in control say so.
doesn't matter where you're at on the socioeconomic ladder. Or,
Even if whether he believe it or not, he's still a fool. He's still self-destructive, and he's still somebody who really can't be helped at this point.
or what you have accomplished or who you
See, the thing is, what's been going on with society, too many people, especially black people, you got to separate from this stuff. It don't mean that you don't ever deal with different people. It means you have to do your own thing with like-minded black people. Not every black person, but like-minded black people who actually feel like, you know what, doing for self away from toxic people would probably be the best option for us. And just make sure that you protect yourself, because you know the haters are going to try to sabotage. But at the end of the day, we got low birth rates from what they say themselves, from what they did to themselves. And 500 years from now, all this stuff, this racism stuff, is going to be a mute point.
you are a superhero to them. So yes, when my son sees me and he sees me like a,
So it's like,
I thank you.
you can try to associate with evil people, but more than likely it ain't going to, if you just like them.
I'm like a
I said, black people, it's been evil before white people even got on this earth. So it's not like all black people are good.
superhero to him, yet he knows he can't be exactly like me because of skin color, right? I'm sure in his 7-year-old
Because of
Conor
skin color.
McGregor,
Now he going
and
right back
so
to that.
you are a superhero to them. So yes, when my son sees me and he sees me like a superhero, and he can even watch me on TV, and his kids at school say, your dad's going to beat up Conor McGregor, and so I'm like a superhero to him, yet he
It's people with different colors. It's black people with kids different skin colors, and they ain't saying, "Oh, mommy, you dark skin and I'm light skin, so we not the same." But he bring it back to skin
knows
color.
he can't be exactly like me because of skin color, right? I'm sure in his
Actually, he can't be exactly like them.
7-year-old brain, which really he'll understand someday when he's a little bit older, right? So there's the skin color, difference, obviously.
How do you handle that? I mean, with one-on-one with him?
I think one-on-one, I think it's the beauty of being a man of faith is we were called for a time and a family such as this. This is exactly how God created us to be. This is exactly how my family unit was supposed to be. Before I was even born, this is exactly how it was supposed to be.
And the other thing is like, well, where your white kids at? We talk about birth rates. Then he go get some black kids.
Before you were even born, he knew
He should be adopting white kids.
that you were chosen for me and mommy, and he knew that you were going to have your skin color, and he knew that I was going to have my skin color. And there's beauty in that, and it's unique to a lot of people. It might be foreign to some people, but is absolutely beautifully God ordained, and it's something that is going to be a part of our testimony. It's something that is.
It's crazy how these people you just get people in general to talk about character, but it's not about, he did mention something about character, so I can't say nothing about character, but it's a lot about skin color.
That is making impacts through a butterfly effect that we don't even understand yet, whether it be people that see me from afar, people that see the way that I love you, the differences that we do have compared to if we did have the exact same skin color and the exact same eyes and the exact same hair.
I don't have the exact same skin color as my parents or my siblings. So this out of here. This is something else I saw here. I want to. Oh, and real quick, I just want to go over some stuff I thought about. You know what I noticed playing NBA 2K with people online and how quick people quit. Down 8 points, you got people quitting. It's a lot of people like that in life. People just give up quick. They abandon the team. It's more people than people think. Like, and you can just say it's a game, but at the same time, it's an avatar for their life also. Another thing I was seeing this, I saw this thing with Aiden Ross, and I was just thinking, like, I heard the dude talking, and I couldn't only watch it for like a few seconds, but that dude seemed like a weirdo, and it actually made me think like how they promote a lot of these people, and these are the people that's influencing the kids. These I mean, these weirdos, and then you wonder why the kids is getting weird. And then the rap promote drugs, and I mean, it's all people get influenced by this stuff, no doubt, and it's constantly pumped out when it needs to be more so about entrepreneurship and engineering and things of that nature. We need to see more of the black doctors. We need to see more of the black professionals on the black um, people that's actually inventing stuff. The black people that's actually moving and shaking, not just entertainers who have been shown to be compromised when you got Diddy as a Fed and supposedly blackmailing all these other people. It's not really in our best interest when we look at the options and look at time and the evidence to be following celebrities. Those people are not celebrities, so we might as well do what the most successful business folks is doing. The most successful inventors, chemists, engineers, and how they did it, because it can be done. It can be replicated. It has been replicated. Because in this world, you need finances, and a stable nuclear family. Forget government programs unless the government program is to actually really help you. See, they want to keep you. A lot of I won't say they want to keep you dependent, but I would just say they don't give you enough really to thrive. So you're more so dependent as opposed to teaching you how to fish and getting you some skills to get a high paying job or career or business. So that way you can be self sustainable and actually be somebody that's got disposable income and can gain financial freedom. Because essentially that's what everybody wants: financial freedom. Not going into the job that they hate. But let's look at this story.
Footage shows the moment Clark County Sheriff's deputies arrived at William Brock's home on March 25th.
Stay by 1 second. Are you the shooter? Okay. I'm gonna pat you down, okay?
Brock is accused of
See, she shouldn't have went out in a neighborhood like this
Are you the shooter?
with folks like this. You know these folks sick.
Okay. I'm gonna pat you down, okay?
Brock is accused of shooting and killing Lalitha Hall, an Uber driver who investigators say came to Brock's home to pick up a package. You see officers pat Brock.
So Uber drivers are picking up
To pick
packages.
up a package. You see officers.
Now this
pat
lady,
Brock
hold
down.
on.
Investigators say came to Brock's home to pick up a
This
package.
lady limping, can't
You
even
see
hardly walk,
officers pat Brock
and
down.
he need a gun for
Here
her.
you'll notice a wound
What
on
a
his
coward.
head. Authorities later determined Brock was hurt during the altercation with Hall. Now law enforcement are putting the pieces together.
Just because somebody will shoot somebody and kill somebody don't mean that they brave. They pretty much cowards, and especially if they think they can get away from it. I mean, away, away with it. And you get these sick folk, man. These so sick. That's what's so sick about this system, is you got the crazy people that actually get defended for doing crazy sick shit. It's this boy. It was a
They say
mistake.
this all stemmed from a violent scam call targeting older citizens like Brock.
Nephew was in jail and he needed to bring $12,000 downtown. The next thing you know, he tells them that he's got the $12,000. She shows up here and tries to take his $12,000.
Now this ain't
So it's a
suspicious.
scam.
It is a scam. That he's got $12,000 in cash in there,
Yeah.
and then
It's the same play that they've been using on everybody.
Yeah.
It's always elderly.
Then they need to stop it. Then y'all can trace the calls and trace everything and stop it. Then this is bad police work.
People.
And that's the other thing, like incompetence. Whether it's done on purpose, whether it's ignored, whether they don't know how to do it, incompetence. And that's why we got that tweet by Elon Musk.
Authorities then start combing through Brock's residence, collecting evidence and taking photographs. In the back on the counter, you can see law enforcement counting the $12,000 in bail money Brock was referencing. At the same
What the
time,
hell do get $12,000 from?
medics were waiting for care flight to take Hall to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. While authorities were on
The hell you need to put a gun out on a lady, unarmed lady who up there limping? Coward.
scene, Brock's landline kept
He
ringing.
knew she ain't had nothing to do
And
with
when the
that.
detective answered, she realized
Well, at
it
least
was
it don't look like she had nothing to do with it.
the scammer on the other end.
Hello?
Yes, who is this?
May I ask who I'm talking to?
Yes, this is the officer speaking.
Okay, what officer?
Yes,
No, I need to know what officer, sir.
you're going to be in trouble.
Okay. Let me ask you this. The female you sent over here, you know who she is?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
I'm going to be there. Give me 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Now, right there, they got this guy on the phone. They should be able to track this guy.
Where is the gentleman that was
They
there?
got the capabilities.
Huh?
The gentleman that lives there. Where is he?
He's talking to us, so I need you to come.
Okay, thank you. I'll be there.
They need to
In
be
the call, the
sending
scammers-
cars to that guy's location.
Says he'll meet with police to turn himself in, but he never showed up. Reporting in Springfield.
Come.
Okay, thank you. I'll be there.
In the call, the scammer says he'll meet with police to turn himself in, but he never showed up. Reporting in Springfield, Grace Hewitt, 2 News.
What's the chances this guy who shot that lady like to call black people the N-word? What's the chances? It just looks suspicious to me. I can't give people like that the benefit of the doubt. That's racist or suspect they're racist. She backing up. Why wouldn't he just say, "I'm gonna call the police"? Hold on, is it this is crazy. He should be calling police. Hey, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna call the police or get up out of here. So he already had shot her. Then both of them, he need to be charged with murder, and the scammer need to be charged with murder. So why would, if he thought she was an officer, if he was talking to the officer, why would he shoot her? Why wouldn't he call the police? They know where the people are. They got all kind of cameras. They can track everything. They can track search histories and everything. IP addresses. Now he really thought. No way he thought that she was in on that. She calling for help. So this dude's sick. Incarcerated relative. So these ain't no saints. Now she turning her back. If they don't arrest this dude, that's what I'm talking about. I was saying, like, it's always gonna be those low birth rates. Right. Then call the police. What? You're looking at a murderer, a sick murderer right here. Crazed, unhuman. The other thing we got to do, like, I'm gonna have to look up some stuff about the sun and mood and vitamin D, because some people is vitamin D deficient, and that creates an issue with the mental also. They better to be. That's like a Rico. If I did something, yeah. See, if it was a black person, this is where I don't know. And I don't say this all the time, but if it was a black person, it'd be a different story. If I go in the store, if my friend asked me to go take him to the store and he rob a liquor store and he kills somebody, we all going to jail for murder. Excuses. They make excuses for these sick folk because they sick and afraid and lack the courage. So the curse remains in place. He's amped up and scared. Why would you say that? He don't look amped up and scared to me. He going forward. Scared people retreat. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he was scared. Some of these people they feel entitled to be able to do harm to people. That sycophants. They real sick psychopaths. Why did he want her phone so he can kill her and without her calling the police? I guess she had a camera. Maybe he didn't know that. That's a good idea. Because who knows what would have happened if she wouldn't have had that camera? He would have made up any kind of lie. He already made up a lie, said his life was a threatening. His life was threatened by her. I wouldn't be surprised if that dude was in on it.
A package.
My fault.
William responded, "Yeah, I know what you're after." During a scuffle at the door of Lolita's vehicle, William said, "I'll shoot you in the head next time." Lolita cried, "Don't do that. Please don't. I'm sorry. Please don't." William asked, "Who do you work for?" Lolita responded, "Uber. It's right up there. You can see it. You can see it. You can look, sir. Please just look." Presumably, she was pointing to something in her vehicle which indicated her association with Uber. Williams said, "I'll shoot you. Give me
Hey,
that
see,
phone."
this is lack of
Lolita replied,
logic,
"No, please, please don't shoot me anymore." After saying
no
the word please
rationality.
5 more times, she said, "Let's talk." At this point, William shot her 2 more times and called 911. William Brock was charged with murder, 2 counts of felony murder, felonious assault,
Get away
and
from these
kidnapping.
sick folk like
He
that.
was released from jail after
Like,
posting a
you gotta be a
$200,000
fool.
bond. If convicted, William is facing a serious penalty. In the state of Ohio, murder carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison
You get
and a maximum
weirdos like Scott
of life in
Adams
prison.
tell about black people don't like. Yeah, well, who would like a person that's so sick as you and so cowardly as you, Scott Adams? You weird looking piece of trash. Look like Homer Simpson on crack. Real looking dude.
Now, moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this
You
case.
lying to yourself.
Item number 1. It appears as though William was telling the truth about interacting with a scammer. In William's house, the police found an envelope with an Ohio court case number written on it. The envelope contained $12,050 in cash. William had written down the name Lolita and a description of her Acura SUV. While in William's house, a detective spoke to the scammer on the phone. The scammer identified himself as the officer and said, "You are going to be in trouble." When the detective pressed for more information, the scammer ended the call. The police said that the scammer's phone number was through Bell Mobility in Canada. The scammer's phone is almost certainly a burner phone.
They could still pinpoint where the cell phone was with the from the cell phone towers. And if these are scammers, and the old guy didn't have anything, he didn't know about it. It just goes to show, like, whoever the scammers are, they just crashed out doing stupid stuff. People be criminals when really, if you're a criminal, it only have a short amount of time you need to be a criminal. People want to do the same stuff and trick it off for attention. A lot of criminals, they're not criminals in the form of necessity because they need to eat. They want to impress other people. They want attention. They want clothes. They want materialistic things to impress other people that don't like them. Usually, they scammers is fake people because the fact that they scam mean they fake. So I guess they don't mind the fake love.
Item number 2. The scammer involved in this case appeared to be unsophisticated and disorganized. He went from pretending to be an officer who was trying to collect bail to being an officer who was holding an inmate hostage. A lot of bad things can happen to inmates in jail, but they don't usually get kidnapped by correctional officers. Low kidnapping risk is one of the few benefits of being an
And
inmate.
then, wow, I mean, so he even tell me you're gonna pay $12,000 for an inmate? Really?
Officers. Low kidnapping risk is one of the few benefits of being an inmate. It appeared as though the scammer was just trying to scare William in any possible way he could. He used different names and narratives in a desperate effort to extort money.
It was a crash out
Item number
magnet.
3. Was William Brock guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that he was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. William confronted Lolita with a revolver when he could have remained in the safety of his house and called 911. The
Correct.
hammer of the revolver was cocked and his finger was on the trigger. These are reckless behaviors under the circumstances. After Lolita was confronted, she retreated to her vehicle, repeatedly cried for help, threatened to call 911.
Now I want to know the white people that think this guy's innocent.
told William to stop and identified herself as an Uber driver. She was unarmed and did not represent a threat. Despite this, William pursued her, took away her cell phone, and shot her 3 times. Only after this did William call 911. At no time was William in any actual danger. Moving to the exculpatory factors, William had a reason to believe that Lolitha was in a conspiracy with a scammer who had threatened to kill him and his family. William told the police that he shot Lolitha because he was fearful that she was attempting to access a weapon. Based on William's discussions with the 911 operator and with the police, his cognitive reasoning abilities did not appear to be extremely sharp. Maybe he truly believed that he was under threat. When considering the evidence in this case, do I believe William Brock is guilty of murder? Yes, I believe he is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. William had every opportunity to remain safe, yet did not take any of them. He was the aggressor the entire time. Lolitha was desperately trying to escape and was screaming for help. William did have a reason to be concerned and maybe even fearful, but he was not justified in using deadly force. Item number 4. The scammer in this case set events in motion, which led to the death of Lolitha, a person who was completely innocent. She was a victim of both the scammer and of William. The scammer also victimized William. He would not have killed anyone but for the scammer's behavior. Many people want the scammer to be arrested and charged with felony murder. The felony murder rule is a legal doctrine that holds a person responsible for murder if someone died while the person was committing a felony. For example, a getaway driver in an armed robbery can be charged with felony murder if his accomplice shot and killed a store clerk. This is true even if the driver didn't believe his accomplice was planning on killing anyone, because robbery is inherently dangerous. As far as charging the scammer with felony murder, the key question would be, did they commit a qualifying underlying felony? In the state of Ohio, an underlying felony under the felony murder rule must be an offense of violence, inherently dangerous, and committed with a reckless disregard for human life. The law requires a first or second degree felony, so crimes like kidnapping, robbery, burglary, arson, and terrorism would qualify. It seems clear that the scammer threatened to kill William, but in Ohio, threatening is typically charged as a misdemeanor. Therefore, that charge would not work for felony murder. As far as offering the best chance of convicting the scammer of felony murder, robbery would be the charge to go with, because the scammer allegedly demanded money under the threat of force. In the state of Ohio, a person commits robbery during a theft if they use a weapon, inflict or attempt to inflict physical harm, or threaten the immediate use of force. The last condition appears to match.
Get online in minutes. Web.com's AI Builder makes it easy. Simply tell us some.
What the scammer allegedly did. He threatened to kill William and his family. This is where things get a bit tricky as far as the felony murder rule.
If he threatened to kill his
and his
inmate,
family.
it's first of all, the inmate would be missed. So I don't know all the details, but if he's saying the inmate has been kidnapped, then that's easy for him. First of all, it's an inmate. So how much, well, what was he in there for? And then it's like, well, how you going to kidnap an inmate? Come on, man.
This is where things get a bit tricky as far as the felony murder rule in Ohio. If a person uses a weapon or inflicts or attempts to inflict harm, the robbery is charged as a second-degree felony. This qualifies under the felony murder rule, so this would be a valid underlying felony. If a person only threatens the immediate use of force, the robbery is charged as a third-degree felony. This would not qualify as an underlying felony for the felony murder rule. Technically, it sounds like the scammer is not eligible to be charged with felony murder. They can certainly be charged with other offenses, and I think they should go to prison, but they probably will not be going there for murder. Moving to item number 5, what do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. William Brock was targeted by a scammer and initially believed everything he said. This led to an intense feeling of fear. As the phone calls continued, he realized that he was dealing with a scammer, and his fear turned to anger. William wanted a definitive, brutal, favorable, and fast resolution to the situation. A strong desire for revenge was present. Unfortunately, William did not have good critical thinking skills. He may have figured out that he was being scammed, but it never occurred to him that the scammer would involve another innocent person,
Or maybe it did.
like an Uber
And he just a racist and he felt he got an opportunity to go ahead and kill two birds with one stone.
driver. William was positive that Lolita was the scammer's conspirator. He made
Yeah,
up his
right.
mind that he was not going
Even if it was, what the hell you doing shooting a woman? like,
to let her escape.
dude.
She was the key to solving the mystery and getting revenge.
They call the police.
William did not necessarily want to kill her, but he was willing to. There was no way that she was going to
He
leave
did want to kill
without
her.
giving William the information he
did.
wanted.
And
Lolita
she
could
did leave without giving him the information he wanted.
not do this
He shot her.
because she was not part of the scam. Now moving to my final thoughts. Scammers often target people
So
who
I'm talking about they make excuses because deep down they feel the same way.
are more likely to have cognitive reasoning deficits. This is a key part of how they get away with fraud and extortion. In this case, the same characteristics that made William an optimal target made him hazardous to the scammer's unwitting.
What you got to realize is like we all condition. So even if they want to reject it, it's still a conflict. It's an inner conflict in them.
accomplice. William could have avoided this entire disaster by not answering the phone when the scammer called or by calling 911. The scammer may have lit the match, but it was William who dumped barrels of fuel on the fire. Those are my thoughts in the case of William Brock. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, so I guess he would need to be on the watch for that one. See what happens with that. He didn't know she had that camera.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you for joining us here on Closing Arguments. A big hour ahead. But first, let's get to this story. This one, a lot of people are talking about, involves a man, 81 years old. This is his mugshot. He's locked up. This is William Brock. What's the story behind William Brock?
He put an
got a
emphasis on the
phone
age.
call, and you know, scammers go after,
And here they go.
you know, our
They're making
seniors
excuses.
when they're
Let me
trying to get
preface
money.
this by saying,
Our seniors. And these scammers allegedly send an Uber driver. This is the Uber driver. Take a look at her photo.
come on, man. You really did he gonna try to say she like
Worry
no,
about
this
it, dude.
dude, he's a sicko. At the end of the day, he is sicko. I could be wrong. What if I'm right? Then what? None of those people that defend them gonna stop defending them, and as a result, we get what we get with this country and what Elon Musk was talking about with the birth rates, because it's basically encouraging societal degeneration. They just spreading the trauma. So I saw this on Say Cheese where it says Quavo in Connecticut. The Quavo's concert in Connecticut is going viral on social media. So I guess people trying to let Quavo have it look like his concert. Maybe it ain't sold out here. Look like maybe it'd be like a club kind of thing. Maybe he should do the clubs. For a club, that's good. Concert, maybe not. But people trying to clown him, but it made me think too about, especially with rap, you be up 1 minute, then that the rap life it got a short shelf life, so you need to get as much money as possible. They talk about all this spending and all this other stuff, tricking off their money and all this stuff, but then the money don't come in no more. And the people that were showing fake love kind of show that they really wasn't really for you like that. Let me see some of the comments. Look like Chris Brown got something, and it ain't a good look when it's that empty. But like I said, the club, maybe do some clubs. 1 minute you hot in a rap game, 1 minute you not. Like I said, tricking on all these females that don't really like you, not really a good outlook. I don't know. Seem like it's just better to have some fun for a while than make sure you get somebody that you done checked out and parents can vouch for and then settle down, because I hope the lawsuits don't start coming. Or the baby mamas and child support. It can get ugly. It says street saying Chris Brown pulled a 50 Cent Moonable Quavo. He bought all the tickets. Oh, okay. To Quavo concert in Connecticut, so no one can show up. This beef is better than the Drake v. Kendrick. If Chris Brown did do that, I mean, he really just put money in Quavo's pocket. If he really did that, you know. If that's not the case, then it'll kind of look worse. If he really did that, he should have just kept it to himself. I guess that's all they got on that. Oh, Chris Brown really did do that. What is this? It says New York District Attorney drives all the way home after cop tried to pull her over. These people, that's what I'm saying. Like, these people, they want to be able to feel like they better than somebody. You get these people that's narcissistic. They can be any color, but you get these people that they really deep down insecure, and they want to. And a lot of times, I won't say a lot of times, but some of the times, man, these people was never the popular people. Was never the pretty, because a pretty girl and a popular person, they used to getting attention. You get these people, man. Insecure people, some of the worst people to want to be around, because they project their insecurity.
I'm gonna go in the house. Seriously.
And then they never want to take responsibility or accountability. But this insecure people are very fake also. Insecure people lie the most.
I have the right to detain you until this is done.
Just write me the fucking ticket. I really don't care.
Now, if a black person or anybody else were to talk to the police like that, what would she say? A lot of times they'll be saying, "Don't talk to police like that." And look how she talking.
I'm the one that's been prosecuted.
All of these politicians are hypocrites. And when you get these people to vote for these folks and they're not paying them or directly talking to them, to expect for them to do something good when we can see that they all corrupt for the most part, incompetent at best. It's foolish to think that these folks, they just hypocrites. They don't want to work a real job. They want to work a job for clout, whatever they do.
This is done.
They want to be able to rub shoulders and say they talked to this person. Because one thing about it, like, these kind of people gossip too in their circles.
I really don't care. I'm the one that's going to prosecute myself. You know what I'll do with the ticket?
Can you please come over here? This is on a traffic stop, ma'am.
She should be removed from her job. Because she telling you right there she ain't going to do her job. She ain't going to make sure justice is done. That justice is not equal or blind. Certain people can get away with stuff. Especially if it's her doing it. She feel like she's above the law.
I'm the one that's gonna prosecute myself.
I
You know what I'll do with the ticket?
can you come? Can you
No,
please
no.
come over here? You're on. This is on a traffic stop, ma'am.
Yes, it is. You can call Dennis Kohlmeyer right now.
Okay, I'm telling you why I stopped you. You didn't stop at all. Did you not hear my lights or sirens or
No, I
anything?
didn't actually. I was on the phone.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to be on the phone while you're driving either.
Yes, I am with the hands-free. Absolutely.
Okay. Why are you so upset at me? I'm doing my job. You just admitted to me that you were going 55 and a 35 on
Can you
Phillips
please tell
Road.
him to leave me alone? It's
Officer Christopher,
Christopher.
can you stay over here, ma'am? This
No,
is a
I'm
traffic.
not
This is a
staying
this
over
is a
here.
legal traffic stop. Do you have your ID?
We gotta post this out.
No, it's in my purse. Here.
You have your purse right there.
No, this is my lunch. Would you talk to Dennis? This is ridiculous. Just go away.
Hello, sir.
Just go
Sir,
away. Wow.
I stopped her for going 55 and a 35 on Phillips
On
Road,
Phillips Road.
and
coming
she
home from
failed
work.
to stop. She drove all the way back home and parked in her garage. And now she's not complying with any of my commands. Ma'am, do not go inside.
Oh my God.
Come
So
out.
she's resisting. If a black person was to do that and got shot in the back, everybody say that's justified,
Outside. You can't just go.
including her. More than likely, I don't know that for sure, but more than likely she would say it's justified. And now she can be Democrat, she can be Republican. It don't matter. They all the same.
Inside. This is a traffic stop. Here's your phone back.
I understand the law better than you. Would you just
953.
Listen to that. That's what I'm saying. There you go.
Here's your phone back.
I understand the law better than you. Would you just
95.
Elitist.
Just go inside. This is a traffic stop. Here's your phone back.
I understand the law better than you. Would you just
953. Can you have a supervisor come to the scene?
No. Get out of my fucking house.
I don't know why. I
Now
don't
she
know why
cussing at the dude.
you're acting like this towards me.
Because
Can you please go to the back of the vehicle?
I'm not going to. I'm home. I was going.
Now would the officer have shot her if he was black? If she was black, a black male resisting, doing all this resisting? Because we've seen it in the videos before, and everybody says justified. So it'll be justified for him to shoot her.
I was okay. 55.
I don't care if you got home. You were supposed to stop at Phillips Road when I pulled.
And she making all kind of excuses, not taking responsibility or accountability, which is what most people like her do.
Pulled you over. Can you please step over here?
I'm not going to.
What is the reason you're so against what I'm doing? I'm doing my job. You say you're a DA?
I am the DA.
Okay.
Okay, let me get you my badge.
My job. You say you're a DA?
I am the DA.
Okay.
Okay, let me get you my badge. I am the DA of Monroe County.
Do you think he can get a fair trial in front of this lady?
I
Low integrity,
just
low
don't
vibration.
understand the hostility towards me. I'm doing my job. How am I being an asshole?
I am the DA of Monroe County.
I understand
Yes,
that,
I'm
but that doesn't
coming
give
home
you.
So you cannot arrest me. Basically, I'm above the law. I get special privileges. This lady's probably a racist because that's the mindset of the racist. Special privileges over others.
A right to go 55 and a 35.
They'll talk all that land of the free, equality in front of because these sick folk, they have to pretend in front of the crowd, in front of the group, because they know if people found them out, they would be outcast. So in public, they talk all this equality and pick yourself up by the bootstraps and made in America, you can do everything and all this and all that. But really, it's about special privileges and I'm better than you. And normally I don't say that because people will say, oh, sometimes the haters say, you think you better than me. But this lady is saying she above the law.
And you even admitted to me that you.
And I'm pretty sure she wouldn't approve of somebody else talking to police officers like this on the traffic stop, especially being a DA. So when you wonder why the city's falling apart, whether they be red or blue, You see these people lack integrity. They lack problem solving skills or any competence to really know how to make changes in this world. It's about getting money, hobnobbing with people, gossiping, and having privileges and having somebody to make them look. See, you got sick people with it. They feel better when they can look down on other people, even though when it's an even playing field, they can't compete or they'll be ignored.
You went 50. I understand that, ma'am.
I don't really
I
care.
understand that.
You know what? If you give me a traffic ticket, that's fine. I'm the one who prosecutes it. Okay? Just go ahead and do it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just don't understand the hostility. I understand you're coming.
She thinks she better than you, boy. That's what it is. You don't understand. You don't understand. He think like, oh yeah, it's all. Well, I don't know what this guy thinks actually, so I wouldn't even say that. But I know it's a lot of people that think. It's a lot of racists that think like, well, it's just like George Carlin said. It's a big club, and a lot of y'all ain't in it. And eugenics, when we talk about stuff like that, eugenics was for white people also. Matter of fact, I think it started for white people.
Coming home from work.
And half the time I was on the phone with Dennis telling him, why are you pulling me over?
You're not even supposed to be on the phone to begin with. You should
yeah.
know that.
Oh, on hands-free?
Excuse makers love to argue. They can't just let it go. And that's a mental illness, like a psychopath. Can never be wrong. Never take responsibility. Insecurity. Cannot be a problem solver if you make excuses.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You should know the law.
Okay. If it is.
So you got people in positions to solve problems. The city's falling apart. And you wonder why? It's because people fail to educate themselves or think. They don't want to see what it really is. These folks can't solve your problems. You got to take responsibility and get it done yourself.
Hands-free?
Or hold them accountable. See, a lot of people can't hold other people accountable because they can't hold themselves accountable. That's what I noticed.
That's great. But at the end of the day, you're going 55 and a 35. That's 20 miles over the speed limit.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. You know what I've been dealing with all day? 3 murders in the city. And do you think I really care if I was going 20 miles?
Wow. What is this right here? This will be my last one.
Because when you compare it to Caitlin Clark's, Angel Reese is going viral after being welcomed to the Chicago Sky organization for her introduction press conference in what looked like to be poor fashion from the franchise. Because when you compare it to Caitlin Clark's introduction conference for the Indiana Fever, they look like they were preparing for this day for years, bringing out a red carpet, having their gym packed with fans, media, cameras, front office staff, all giving hugs with joy. She was even escorted to the gym in a Mercedes Sprinter. And even the Minnesota Lynx welcomed their new rookie, Alyssa Peely, with much appreciation by greeting her with a tribal ceremony since she's Samoan with Alaska Native descent, while also having her local community members there to show love, as well as the Lieutenant Governor, Penny Flanagan, who is also of Native descent. However, for Angel Reese, she walked in alone in what looked like an empty high school gymnasium, as if the Chicago Sky wasn't even prepared for her introduction conference. There was minimal media, no fans, no exciting warm hugs from any front office staff. However, Reese has done exactly what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA so far. Both their jerseys have sold out and tickets have skyrocketed for both organizations before either player have put on a jersey. Both these women are breaking barriers for this sport, yet one is getting the proper recognition from their organization, but the other is looking like they're getting taken advantage of.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Chicago Sky could have done a better job, but this is WNBA. You know, it's the reason they lack ratings. So this is, you can see in the organization that so things need to be done differently to kind of drum up some attention. Take advantage of this while they can. But I can't say Angel Reese is as big a star as Caitlin Clark. But she is a big star, and you should capitalize off of it. You know, if you want to bring attention to the WNBA, if you want to get them more money, but see, it was like what Shannon Sharp was saying with Cam Newton, how these GMs, they had these unlimited pocketbooks, really. So they really don't be competent a lot of times. And then they can just make mistake after mistake after mistake, and they really get held accountable.